Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Douglas here at Drowned Boy Productions, and today we're going to be doing a video on nothing in particular. More so, we're just going to be covering the bases of all of the updates and current changes that are happening with the channel. A lot of stuff is going on in my life currently that I think is going to positively affect the channel, but there are going to be a little bit of negatives, so let's just go ahead and get into it. First of all, I'm in the process of moving. I thought I had already found a location, however they would not let me hang anything on the walls. It was a really cool place, but that kind of killed it for me, so I didn't want to sign a lease even for a year. I'm not going to bother with that. I'm currently looking for somewhere else, but a majority of the collection is in boxes in the living room. The Scream room is still currently intact. I guess the shrine, if you want to call it that, is still here just for now, but we are going to be looking for somewhere bigger. The collection has constantly grown, and I haven't really wanted to part with too many things. A lot of the stuff that I've been getting in is stuff I really just don't want to sell, don't want to trade. Sometimes I will come off of something, but at this point in my collecting life, I try not to get anything unless it's something I really just want to keep. And there are a lot of things that I want. I'm always coming across great deals, and I really just have a hard time turning down some cool stuff sometimes. And at this point, the collection is just massive. It definitely has exceeded the house, even with like the amount that I've expanded it into other rooms, into the living room, my own personal room. It's a lot. Ever since I was a little kid, I always thought it would be really cool to have a museum of some sort, and I've always looked up to collectors like Bob Burns, Sean Clark, many of these other just amazing people with awesome collections of memorabilia that they've helped preserve and share with fans throughout the years. That's something I would really like to do. So I don't know how soon it would happen, but a museum is in my future. As long as I'm alive, I'm still going to keep trying for that museum. I really want to put all of this into a public space where fans like you that are watching this can come enjoy these things. And at this point, I really have enough stuff I could probably fill a pretty decent sized museum if you space this stuff out apart, put some infographic stuff up, etc. Put in some other franchises, of course, not just Scream and Ghostface. Currently, it's just trying to find a location. Where am I going to put it? What's actually going to be worth purchasing it? And that's something I definitely want to do. But currently, it looks like for a while, some of the collection may have to go into storage. So some of it may be stored, some may be on display. I don't really want to do that, so I may have to sell some things. I'm still trying to decide what I want to do there, because some things are replaceable. I can definitely reacquire them in the future, some things not so much. And due to that, there's been a little bit less time to spend on videos and content creation. I have also been working on a film. I can't tell you guys too much about the specifics of what I've been creating, but it's for a film called Grimm. It's an independent film that's actually being made by somebody in the hobby, and I think it's going to be pretty awesome. I hope you all enjoy it whenever it does come out. But I have really been spending a lot of time working on that stuff, as well as editing other videos that were shot in here before I started moving. So moving can be a little bit scary. Ultimately, if it's a much bigger place and depending on the layout, this could be absolutely wonderful news. As soon as I'm able to get somewhere and get this all displayed, get it set up decent and open to the public, I'm hoping to do so. I have no clue whether that'll be a year from now, 5 years from now. I'm saying it here because this is definitely a goal of mine with the collection that I have. And if you all want to see that happen, here's another way that you can support that goal. I have sat back and watched many people ask throughout the years, Douglas, where do you get these Scream and Ghostface masks? Where do you find these products? How can I get them? And there are a few retailers out there. Of course, I always recommend Mad About Horror, Nightmare Toys, Crypt Keepers, different places like that. However, there's still only a handful of places. And I, of course, making videos on these things, felt, why don't I be that source? So I actually want to announce now, I think I've already announced to you all that I retail for Trick or Treat Studios. I'm going to be retailing not just for Trick or Treat Studios, but for Fun World as well. So I'm going to try and be a source of these products for all of you out there. I see far too often, whether it be merchandise or masks, costumes, it doesn't matter. These things will release, they're sold out instantly, and almost instantly regurgitated for 5 times the price online. I want to try and prevent scalpers from getting a hold of these things, and I want to be able to provide these to the community at retail cost. So not only can I help you get them, something that you were going to buy anyway, something that you're coming to learn from about on my videos, but it will also help support my channel and also, like I said, that goal of trying to open a museum. Whether it be Trick or Treat Studios masks, Fun World masks, merchandise, it doesn't matter. I'll be carrying those as well as trying to make my own creations. On top of that, merchandise, I've never really tried to push merchandise too hard. I have released several different shirts throughout the years, and I've put those up on TeePublic, but I've never even really pushed them in videos. I may have worn a copy here or there, but I don't think I've ever been like, hey guys, you can go get these on TeePublic. And I will still be doing a few different designs on TeePublic, but I do want to work with some individual artists to create some really cool merchandise as well. One of which being Shaggy the Airhead. Shaggy makes some of the coolest and most comfortable designer clothing that I've ever had the opportunity to wear. I absolutely love his stuff, I love his passion, and his artwork is fucking phenomenal, so I cannot wait to collaborate with him at some point in the future. I don't know when it'll happen, but I definitely want to try and make that collaboration happen sometime soon. So yeah, outside of that, I've just been staying offline as much as possible because apparently there are some Scream 6 rumors running around, you rat bastards. And I definitely do not want to get spoiled on that, so I have not been reading the comments. I actually even thought about doing this as a live stream just to chat with you all, but I didn't want to run the risk of being like, yeah, I've been offline to avoid Scream 6 spoilers, and then some dickhead comment spoilers. So if you're going to do that on this video, just know that I'm not reading the comments, buddy. And speaking of Scream 6 and touching back on the whole retailing for Fun World thing, I am really excited about this for several reasons. One of the biggest, of course, is that we're about to have the Scream 6 masks coming out, so it's going to be really awesome to get a whole pack of those in and take a look at the different variation between the copies. Are they painted entirely different? At this point, we haven't even seen what the sculpture for the Scream 6 masks look like, so I'm just really anticipating those. We may be able to work out some stuff where I can actually get these products in hand available ahead of time. I know that Tim Wagstaff, as well as Mad About Horror, maybe even Nightmare Toys, previously they've been given products to review on their own personal pages to show the audience, or I guess more so the people that are going to be purchasing these pieces. So now that I'm a retailer, I think we might be able to get these products in hand to show you guys here on YouTube. Speaking of bringing back Gen 1s, in the past many people have made attempts to get Fun World to bring back the Gen 1, whether it be simply asking, sending emails, death threats, or threats of any kind apparently, or of course the petition that was put on by Wade and Joe Nobile, which has gotten many signatures. There's definitely enough people there showing that they want these masks, and most of these people would buy multiple of these masks. But even with all those signatures, the answer always comes back that if it's not what retailers want, it won't get made. If the orders aren't there, if it's not going to be financially backed, it's just not worth it to make a new mold and try to do all these things just to produce what is essentially just a slightly different version of a pre-existing mask that they're already making. As far as from what Fun World sees, the Ghostface mask is the Ghostface mask. Whether it's Gen 1, whether it's EU, it's Ghostface. So I thought to myself, why not reach out to these other retailers who always sell these products, and they sell them out like crazy, like with the 25th anniversary products, and see if they're willing to talk to Fun World and maybe try and get them to bring back the Gen 1. Because if we all kind of unionize, I guess in a way, and it's me, it's Mad About Horror, it's Nightmare Toys, it's Tim Wagstaff himself, it's all these other individuals that are retailing who already make good sales off of Fun World. We all go to Fun World and say, we want this mask made. I would think that maybe there would be enough orders there that we could maybe make this happen. Now guys, I don't want to get your hopes up. I'm not saying that this is a guaranteed thing, but we're really going to try our hardest, and I figured that this is going to be one of the best ways that we can actually bring this back. So I'm really hoping that you guys stand behind this. I'm not necessarily saying that I really hope that you stand behind me financially with this, but as far as actually putting your money where your mouth is when these products get released. If you want to see the Gen 1 back, please show support for it when it actually does happen, if it actually does happen. Outside of that, as far as the collection is concerned, it's really going to be hard to take this room apart. It has been a few years rebuilding this collection after selling the Scream and Ghostface collection a couple years back, and it is bigger now than it ever has been. I don't want to say it for certain, but I'm almost 100% certain, at least from what I've seen online, that this is absolutely the world's largest collection of Scream and Ghostface merchandise and memorabilia. It's going to hurt a little bit to take it all down and put it in boxes, but I really hope wherever it ends up next, it's going to look 10 times better. And also, if I have to, maybe, and I may just do this, I'm thinking about it, I think it would be really cool for the fans to be able to see some of these things in the public eye in the meanwhile. Even if I can't personally host it and display it, I really want this stuff to be seen and appreciated. And depending on where I can go, if I can't keep it properly, if I can't store it there properly, I don't want to risk this stuff being damaged. So I'm thinking about sending some of my key props, if not many of the key props, off to the Museum of Pop Culture. Of course, there it will be well taken care of. It will be alongside many other very, very iconic pieces from horror, as well as just cinema in general. It's an amazing place. Unfortunately, it's kind of on the other side of the continental United States away from me, which is the one downside, but I think it would be really awesome for fans to at least have the opportunity to go visit and see a few of these pieces in person. Oh, and one piece of good news to end on. After being lost in the mail for over a month, my Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4 movie poster finally came in. Of course, this thing is pretty much the same size as the Jason, but it's actually a little bit bigger. It's like a full 6-foot poster. I'm sure many people are actually familiar with this image already, but I was extremely happy to be able to score this thing for a ridiculously cheap price. Like, modern day poster price. It was ridiculously good. It's a little bit damaged because unfortunately one side of the tube was crushed completely whenever it came in, so it kind of has a repeating fold all the way down one side, but for the price I paid, I still can't complain. All I have to do now is get this bad boy signed up by Robert and get it framed right next to the Jason. So that situation had a happy ending after all, and maybe all of this will as well. All I can say is I love you all. I really appreciate your support over the years. I really hope that you guys appreciate this, because this is going to be a big leap, but I really, really hope that it will benefit many of you out there. I can't say for certain that I will be shipping international at this point, but I'll probably try to take it on by a person-by-person basis. There's definitely a lot of issues you can run into shipping international, but I really want to do the best I can to provide fans with these awesome products for a retail price. I love you all. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.